So February 2nd witnessed the Union Budget 2022, in which the Finance Minister stated that India's estimated growth will be at 9.21%, highest among all the large economies. She stated that the economy was able to withstand various challenges due to high vaccination rates. This is Monisha from Enterslice, and I bring to you the highlights of the Union Budget 2022-23. The Budget 2022-2023 will focus on benefiting youth, women, farmers and the backwards classes. The PM Gati Shakti Master Plan will guide the process, said Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Union Budget seeks to lay foundation and give blueprint of the economy over Amrit Kal of next 25 years, from India at 75 to India at 100. The budget was focused on the following: PM Gati Shakti Yojna, inclusive development, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition and climate action, and financing of investments. Let's go through some of the key highlights of Union Budget 2022 through our eyes and our understanding. So here are few takeaways from the Union Budget of 2022. First one is the production linked incentive scheme. So we have witnessed the scheme of Atmanirbhar Bharat taking a major position in the economic scheme posted by the government. So production linked incentive scheme is among one of them, which focuses to create around 60 lakhs new jobs in the next 5 years. Production linked incentive scheme for achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat has received an excellent response, with potential to create 60 lakhs new jobs and additional production of 30 lakh crores during the next 5 years. So gone are the days when the thing was only concentrated upon your degrees and on your struggle to find new jobs. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, an initiative is taken to create self-employment so that more and more people can move towards a better livelihood. The second point, as discussed by Honorable Finance Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, was regarding the infrastructural developments under the PMs Gati Shakti Yojna. So infrastructure plays a major role in the development of any country. What we witness in the European countries or United States or UK is that their infrastructure base is very strong, right from the road system to the railway system to the internal communication to the personal vehicles being used to the least expected, while the public convenience making their way to the lives of the most of the general public. So now it is the high time the government should pay attention to the infrastructural development under the PM Gati Shakti Yojna. The national highways under this scheme will be expanded by 25,000 kilometers, which will cost 2,000 crores. 100 cargo terminals will be developed in the next few years. Design of the metro systems, including civil structures, will be reoriented and standardized for Indian conditions and needs. So we have already witnessed that the conditions of the infrastructure goes down or degrade during the monsoon season, since we are sitting in the tropical, or we can say in the longitude and latitude where we experience all the seasons. So we need, and our infrastructure needs to be prepared according to facing all the weather conditions with most efficiency. Parvatmala is another scheme which the finance minister paid attention to in the Union Budget 2022. Under the Parvatmala scheme, for conventional roads in hilly areas will be taken under PPP models. It will improve connectivity and the convenience. So the contract for 8 ropeway projects are underway to improve commutation in the congested urban areas. Next point worth highlighting is related to one station, one product. We all know we are sitting in a country where the language changes in few kilometers and the cuisine changes in the next few kilometers, while the art and craft changes in the another few kilometers. So whole of the concern is towards promoting the one product, in one station. So it is an initiative wherein the local which are efficient in producing a single product will be focusing upon the manufacture or production of those products, and railways will develop efficient logistics for small farmers and the enterprises. One station, one product means that one city which is efficient in producing one product will concentrate on producing that product, and government will help to make a supply chain of that local product. Railways will develop efficient logistics for small farmers and enterprises. One station, one product to help supply chain of the local product. So you can estimate how much livelihood this thing would create in the unrecognized sector. We all know that little corners of the country are efficient in producing such great artisans products which are not yet recognized even in our country, leave beyond the international forum. So it is a high time the government should give the required limelight to those local products and bring them into the main arena. Next point, as discussed by Finance Minister, have been related to the funds which have been set up to finance the agriculture, rural startups and all the associated things related to the new business development. So agriculture has obviously found a better place in this budget 2022. Along with the startups, we all know that the startup culture is growing at a rapid fast speed. So it needs a little attention from the government side also, so that they can take the required leap of development in the correct segment. A fund with the blended capital raised under the co-investment model facilitated through NABARD to finance startup in agriculture and rural enterprises for farm produce value chain will be set up. So this has been a very good step towards promoting the startup as well as agriculture, being the country where 70% of the population is still engaged in the agriculture or agriculture related activities. So this fund will be helpful for all those segment of population, and it will bring a new sunrise in those sectors. Now, the states will be encouraged to revise the syllabus of agricultural universities to meet the needs of natural, zero budget and organic farming and modern day agriculture. So, another thing worth noticing in this is that Finance Minister has mentioned that we would be paying more and more attention towards organic farming, which will be free from the chemicals and other harmful products used in the agriculture. In the last 2 years, we have witnessed how important the health segment have been. It all starts from the food we eat. If we will pay equal attention towards the nutrition value of the food we eat, it will definitely go into long run towards maintaining a great health throughout the country. Next point which have been discussed by the Honorable Finance Minister have been PM Modi's development initiative for northeastern states to be implemented by NEC. So for quite a long time, the northeastern states were neglected and the correct development could not have been reached to them. So now it has been recognized and the corrective actions are being taken in this respect. PM Modi's development initiatives for the northeastern states will be implemented by the northeastern councils. This will enable livelihood activities for the youth and women in the northeast. This scheme is not a substitute for the existing center and state schemes, but it is over and above those center and state schemes. Talking about the health services, so we all have witnessed that in the past 2 years, the thing which is most important to be taken care of is our health. The COVID times have been seen as the most scared time in respect of the health services in the past few decades. So open platform for the healthcare services is to be started soon. This is the initiative and this has been proposed in the Union Budget 2022. The open platform for the national digital health ecosystem will be rolled out. It will consist of digital registries of health providers and health facilities, unique health identity and universal access to health facilities. To better the access to quality mental health counseling and care services, a national tele-mental health program will also be launched. So apart from the development in the physical health segment, wherein all the corners of the country will be reached through the digitalization process, and even the people living in the rural areas, semi-urban areas will have proper access to the right medical facilities. I'm quite impressed by the equal attention given to the mental health program by the Government of India in this Union Budget 2022. We all know that physical health and mental health are equally important in the current scenario where we are dealing with the pandemic as well as fast lifestyle. We don't even know what kind of mental stress or ailments we are suffering from, and we get to know only after it is too late. So it is the right time. Government of India has recognized its role towards developing the physical as well as mental health program throughout the country. Another point included the emergency credit line guarantee scheme to be extended to March 2023. So the emergency credit line guarantee scheme will be extended to March 2023, and the guaranteed cover will be expanded by 50,000 crores to cover an amount of around 5 lakh crores. Paying attention to the tourism sector, around 400 new Vande Bharat trains to be manufactured in the next 3 years. So this is another initiative worth noticing and worth applauding, and we have witnessed a complete decline in the international tourism due to the COVID-19 from the past 2 or 2.5 years. So this is the high time we pay attention towards developing our domestic tourism. Under the same 400 new Vande Bharat trains with better energy efficiency and passenger riding experience will be manufactured in the next 3 years. While we are discussing about the tourism, so when we are talking about international tourism, the passports are equally important. The government has come up with the e-passport scheme which will be issued soon, and the issuance of e-passport will be rolled out in 2022-2023 to make it easier for the citizens to apply for the passport. We all know how much and what kind of hassles we used to face while applying for a passport, verification and everything. So now the whole of the system have been made online, and there could not be a better use of technology to promote the tourism sector. Obviously, when the COVID effect or the would decline, there would be enhancement in the international travel for the tourism as well as business purpose. So before this, the government is making the efficient system so that people can easily apply for the passports and get the same in time. Another great use of technology which have been proposed in the Union Budget 2022 is the use of drones. So the drones will now be used for crop assessment, digitalization of land records, spraying of insecticides. So we had not even imagined that the government will go so far in introduction of technology in the very own agricultural sector of the country. So use of drone will be promoted for crop assessment, digitalization of land records, spraying of insecticides and nutrients. The funds for the same will be facilitated through NABARD to finance startups for agriculture and rural enterprises which are relevant for the farm produce value chain. Now we can see the inclination towards the agriculture sector, wherein the new startups are also encouraged to take more and more interest in the agricultural sector of the country. Talking about the digitalization, another point worth mentioning which have been discussed in the Union Budget 2022 is related to animation and gaming task force. Like we have seen the interest which have been created among the youth of today regarding the animation and the gaming sector. Now the government is also taking equal interest in the same and is aiming to develop a task force which will be setting up animation, visual effects, gaming and comic sector, and it will provide immense potential to employment of the youth. An AVGC promotion task force with all the stakeholders will be set up to recommend ways to realize this and build domestic capacity for serving our markets and the global demand. After the digitalization has gained its importance in the current budget, the defense is also not very far away. So, Atmanirbhar Defence includes 68% of the capital procurement budget for defense to be earmarked for domestic industry to promote Atmanirbhar and reduce dependence on the imports. This is up from the 58% in the last fiscal year. Another sector which has gained its importance in the budget 2022 is the special economic zones. So, Special Economic Zones Act will be replaced soon. The Finance Minister in budget 2022 mentioned that the Special Economic Zone Acts will be replaced with new legislation for the development of the enterprises and hubs. It will cover the existing industrial enclaves and enhance the competitiveness of the exports. So, these small units operating in the special economic zones are still facing a drawback in terms of the imports as well in terms of competing with the big business houses. So, little bit more attention towards them, they can contribute a lot towards the development of the economy in the coming time. Since the inception of the Modi government, one thing which we had witnessed is the concentration of the government towards the skilling programs, or you can say it is another extended unit of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have seen advent of many of the skilling programs for upskilling, for getting new skills or upgrading, so that you can create even the self-employment on your own. In respect of that, Desh e-portal skilling program will be reoriented for skilling, upskilling and reskilling of our youth. Digital Desh e-portal will be launched. So we can witness that technology has made its way in all the segments of the country, be it agriculture or be it the skilling program, be it the job portal. Now coming to the electronic vehicle segment, electronic vehicles have already made a better place of themselves, a better identity of themselves in other European countries, US, UK, because they have already the infrastructure available for them. We are happy to see that the government is now taking initiative to create better infrastructure for the electronic vehicles in India itself. The same has been represented in the Union Budget 2022 through the battery swapping scheme announced. The battery swapping policy to address the charging issue with the electronic vehicles will be addressed under this scheme, and it will definitely pave a greater way for all the vehicle manufacturing companies who can now start with the new innovation and even the set up plans for electronic vehicles within the domestic terrain. The educational sector has not been left behind. So, one class, one TV channel scheme is the representation is the example of the same. One class, one TV channel will be increased from 12 to 200 TV channels to provide supplementary education in regional languages for class 1 to 12. So, during this tough times of COVID, we have already witnessed the use of online classes, the use of online technology for imparting education among the children. Now the government has come up in regulating the television sector for the development of the education and for the development of the regional languages also. Coming to the telecommunication segment, so the Finance Minister has announced the spectrum auctions which will be held this year to enable 5G rollout by 2023. Required spectrum auctions will be conducted in 2022 to facilitate rollout of 5G mobile services by private telecom players. Similarly, the Ken-Betwa linking project to cost around 44,605 crores. The implementation of the Ken-Betwa linking project at an estimated cost of rupees 44,605 crores to be taken up with irrigation benefits to 9 lakh hectare farmland, drinking water to 62 lakhs people, 103 megawatt hydropower and 27 megawatt solar power generation. So this has been a remarkable point in the segment of infrastructure, also in the segment of drinking water as well as use of farmland. We are quite happy to witness that the government has paid equal attention towards developing all these segments all in one go. Next, coming to the capital expenditure, to be around 10.68 lakh crores. So effective capital expenditure of the central government is estimated at 10.68 lakh crores in 2022-2023, which is about 4.1% of GDP. Additional allocation of 19,500 crores for manufacturing solar modules to facilitate domestic manufacturing of 280 gigawatt of installed solar capacity by 2030. Additional allocation of 19,500 crores of PLI for manufacturing of high efficiency modules with priority to fully integrate manufacturing units to solar PV modules will be made. So we have seen a complete inclination of the government in this budget towards the renewable sources of energy, and why it should not be. It should be paid equal attention to, because coming is the time of the renewable energy. Again, coming to the financial developments in the budget, so the digital rupee to be issued by RBI in the upcoming year. Digital rupee to be issued using blockchain and other technologies and will be issued by RBI starting 2022-2023. This will give a big boost to the economy. We have only heard about the digital money yet, which have been in use in the other countries or the foreign land, but now our government has taken it into the consideration and working in this direction. So we'll be waiting and watching for RBI steps towards launching of the digital currency in the country. Coming to the taxpayer segment, so the taxpayer can now update the income tax return within 2 years. To provide an opportunity to correct an error, taxpayers can now file an updated return within 2 years from the relevant assessment date. So this was something in the benefit of the taxpayers of the country. So now they'll get around 2 years to refile their return in case of any mistakes. Tax deduction limit to be increased from 10% to 14% for the state government employees. Both center and state government employees tax deduction limit will be increased from 10 to 14% to help the social security benefits of the state government employees and bring them at par with the central government employees. Around 48,000 crores will be allocated for completion of construction of 80 lakhs houses. 48,000 crores allocated for the construction activities of the 80 lakh houses under PM Awas Yojna in rural and urban areas in the year 2022-2023. Income from virtual digital assets to be taxed at 30%. Income from transfer of digital assets to be charged at 30% plus 1% tax on transaction. Corporate surcharge will be reduced from 12% to 7%. The income from long-term capital gains will be taxed at 15%. Custom duty on diamonds to be reduced to 5%. Customs on polished diamonds, gemstones will also be cut down to 5%. Simply sewn diamonds will be exempted. To facilitate export of jewelry through e-commerce, simplified regulations will be in place by the end of June this year. So this was all which was included in this Union Budget 2022-2023. Now we'll have to look into the implementation of all the points and how far all these points would contribute towards the development of the country. Let's wait and watch. Thank you for watching this. Please like, share and subscribe to our videos.